was the artistic director of the opening ceremony.
What a twat.
But they chose the guy who had his bollock out to be
It's not artistic at all. There's nothing about it. You're like, that's really artistic.
They start dropping dead. Every time the camera comes on someone, they drop dead. And then
whatever they're trying to tell us, it's wrong. It's
wrong.
And I want to know when it's all going to turn around and things are going to get better, you know. So take a good swig of that cough.
We'll put that in the intro.
Moisten the brain up. Electrons firing. Electrons? Neutrons? Who knows?
Neurons.
Either, yeah. That's it.
Right, what the fuck were they thinking on the Olympics?
Tapped.
It's fucked,
so tapped.
Man.
It's fucked, isn't it?
Like, how many people did they insult, and why were they insulting them?
I want to know who the director was of that and thought,
he was named and shamed. He's named and shamed. I'll find his name.
What's his name?
Who
call him out.
Directed the opening ceremony? Because I don't think you even have to be. So obviously they mocked Christianity. They mocked the painting, Leonardo da Vinci's painting of
Last Supper,
which obviously the painting is not in the Bible, but that painting has been taken as almost a religious symbol.
Yeah.
Everyone around the world knows.
Everyone knows what that is.
It's been, so why? Thomas Jolly was the artistic director of the opening ceremony.
What a twat. Absolute twat.
Let's find out who he is.
What's he look like? I don't know what he looks like.
French actor. There you go. That makes sense.
Well then. Look him up. Make your own judgment.
First of all, you don't have to be religious to know that was wrong.
Yeah.
Second of all, the Olympic Games the opening ceremony is supposed to be a show of the host nation's culture. It's supposed to be a show of what the Olympics is going to be about. It's usually about sporting excellence, achievement, collaboration, teams. It's supposed to be all sort of good stuff. And instead they chose some weird, satanic...
It's one of the only things
it was very strange.
The Olympics is one of the only things we kind of have left, really, isn't it? To show true...
That you think would be untouched by this madness.
Yeah. It's kind of... It's almost made it political, innit? With this whole opening. It's like, wow, now you're bringing in all these... It's clearly pro-LGBT. It's like, why bring that into the Olympics? Why make that a thing?
Also, since when is it part of French culture? Maybe it is now, I don't know, but it's globalist culture, obviously. They're trying to push it in every Western nation now. The only nations that aren't pushing it are sort of the Eastern, like Russia and the Middle East.
Yeah, it's obviously against their religion.
They no, we're not pushing that stuff. But I don't understand it at all. It was weird. It was very, very strange. Let's just go over the picture. So you had a table. It was clearly the Last Supper.
Clearly. There's no way someone can even... I mean, they even had food where they lifted the thing and there was a blue bloke there, like that, looking all weird, ginger beard.
And
crazy.
I watched a video of someone who analysed it, and basically he was wearing a crown. So what did Jesus wear when he went and died on the cross? He wore a crown.
Crown.
And in the Last Supper, Jesus says, drink this wine, for it is my blood, eat this food, for it is my flesh. And then they put this guy who's got Jesus' crown on the table, acting as if they're going to eat him. Mate, it was weird. It was very, very strange.
That's bizarre, that. If you look at that and you go, oh yeah, no, that's pretty normal. That's then
It's tapped.
It's so tapped, man. It's not hard to look at that and say, what is going on?
Yeah, but you don't have to be a Christian to know that was weird.
And there's no denying that is a depiction of the Last Supper. There's no way someone can say that's not, because it's...
Just get the two pictures side by side.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Exactly
also,
the same.
They've replaced Jesus with some heavily obese woman. Heavily obese. It's not like she's an athlete. who's competing, and they put
Contradicts
her in
the
the middle.
Olympics, doesn't it?
It's like, wait a minute, this is all about fitness and physical excellence. That's
which
what the
she
Olympics
clearly
is.
doesn't
She ain't got none of that.
None of that. She probably doesn't have any interest in that. Clearly.
If there was like an event which was how many fucking bargain buckets can you eat?
Yeah.
Maybe
she'd be all in for that.
Maybe. But why? And the fact they put like a crown around her head, which is exactly the same as the way often paintings of Jesus has that kind of round thing with
with the globe.
Out. They've given her that to make it, just in case you were unsure that we're recreating the Last Supper. There you go.
There you go. Bit of extra detail.
This is who we're replacing Jesus with. Right. So that's only the start of the whole fucking thing. Then you've got a child there next to dudes dressed in like skimpy outfits. One of them had his bollock out.
His bollock out. He did.
And not only did he have his bollock out, and that would have been bad enough. There was a bloke there with his bollock out with no children. We would have been like, that's weird. Why are they doing that? But they chose TV. The guy who had his bollock out to be next to the child. It was weird.
So wrong, isn't it?
So then we got to go into why are they doing this? Why are they trying to show us this? What is the reason behind it? Because it's not just art. It's not just, let's just think it. It's just random. It's not random. They're doing it for a reason. Is anyone out there who's naive enough to think that this is not happened for a reason? They're trying to tell you something.
They really are. And the question is, what are they trying to tell you? What's the reason behind doing all this stuff? It's not artistic at all. No. There's nothing about it. You're like, that's really artistic. There's nothing artistic about it. It wasn't even entertaining, was it? It wasn't even like, I don't know, like there was nothing entertaining about it. No. Which is wrong in so many ways.
So weird, man. It's so weird. But then, do you know the rule of Satanism?
Go on.
So if you're a Satanist, you believe in like karmic retribution. So you believe that if you deliberately kind of do harm to someone, that karma can come back round. They believe that that's true. So what they do is they'll tell you what they're going to do in some way before they do it.
Interesting.
So the kind of example that I've heard is if someone gives you an apple and it's poisoned, and they go, here you go, there's an apple, eat it, and you eat that apple and you die, then that karmic that puts bad karma on them, because they poisoned the apple and gave it to you. If they give you an apple and say, this is a poison apple, and you take that poison apple and you eat it and you die, they're like, well, I told him it's poison apple.
Yeah.
So what are they trying to tell us by the Olympic Games? Because they're trying to tell us something.
That's interesting.
Because
it goes deeper, doesn't it?
Everyone was watching.
Yeah.
The Olympics Games is funded by the government, funded by big corporations, taxpayers' money. What are they trying to tell us they're going to do? Because we've had a lot of weird stuff going on. We've got sort of people infiltrating schools who are trying to tell kids that they're not a boy and not a girl. We've had the BBC coming out, well, not just the BBC, but all the kind of mainstream media figures coming out as paedophiles. Like, there's been literally 2 in the last year.
Yeah.
One who's recently, what's his name? Hugh Edwards. He's had like 37 indecent images found on his devices.
Which is crazy. But also you got to look into whether he's spoken against the BBC. Because as we know, as we've looked into, they like to pin a lot of shit on people, don't they? Not saying he's innocent, not saying he's guilty, but
maybe they knew for ages. And
you know what I mean?
Waiting for him.
If you'd have to look into him, see if he started to speak out against the BBC or against things like that, and then they pin that on him, or he could be amongst part of all of that, because we know, like, you know, paedophilia and child trafficking, it's part of a lot of theories, isn't it, about the, you know, who's behind all these organizations, and they will take part in all that stuff, satanic.
Well, obviously a lot of them involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Huge amounts of investors and stuff. and celebrities. And, I mean, crazy. Yeah. So on one hand, you got to think, okay, so they put a child in there next to a lot of sort of sexual imagery. Are they trying to tell everyone they're paedophiles?
Yeah, it's
the French government trying to say, yeah, basically we're paedophiles, but they can't just say they're paedophiles, so they do this so that when it comes out that they're all paedophiles, they're like, well, you didn't have a problem with it when we told you.
And that comes back to the satanic thing about them.
Yeah,
interesting.
that is weird.
Wrong, isn't it? Wrong, completely. But even like big characters have spoken out against it as well. We've seen a lot of people like Donald Trump, for example. He spoke out, said it was a
basically
disgrace.
anyone who isn't pro mainstream media.
Yeah.
Mainstream media aren't even fucking talking about it. They're not
No.
talking about it at all. It's anyone who's kind of not mainstream, who's probably been attacked by mainstream.
Probably. And mainstream media isn't talking about it because they're probably a part of it, or know who's a part of it, don't want to speak out against it because they're scared of punishment, or scared of them getting attacked by any, getting torn down and stuff.
Getting cancelled. Yeah.
It's a scary time to be alive. It really is.
Also, did you see the people dropping dead?
I didn't. I don't think I got to that part.
Basically, there's a bit in the opening ceremony. You can't find a lot of the opening ceremony now on YouTube. They've copyright striked because they kind of, if YouTube were an investor into it, and there's such a backlash, and there's obviously it's so blatantly obvious as to what they're trying to push. It's really bad. It's like they're not even hiding anymore.
No.
They don't want people to see it and know that they are satanic paedophiles.
Basically, yeah.
So they're blocking it all on YouTube. But there's a part of the Olympic
or is
ceremony.
YouTube against it? Is YouTube not satanic paedophiles?
Unless they
are they trying to be like, oh, we don't.
Otherwise, they'd be promoting the content that says this is wrong.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're copy striking it. It's not talking about. They're trying to like put it.
They're just trying to put it to a side, forget about it.
Yeah, like they did with COVID. Just don't worry about it now.
Just
wait a minute. 2 weeks ago,
fun stuff.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago we were wearing masks. I know Putin's invaded Ukraine. We don't have to worry about COVID no more.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yeah. They always push the agenda, don't they? The new thing that comes along.
Yeah. But there's a bit in the opening ceremony where there's a bunch of people like dancing like fucking mental cases. And then they start dropping dead. Every time the camera like comes onto someone, they like drop dead. And then the next one drops dead. And the next one drops dead. And it's almost like it was like this weird like death dance. What has that got to do with the Olympics or France or any of that?
As far as I'm aware, absolutely nothing.
So then you've got to think, what are they trying to tell us again? What are they trying to tell us by having a bunch of people dancing about and then falling dead? What do you think?
It's whatever they're trying to tell us. It's wrong. It's wrong. Just the alone fact, just the obvious. Everyone at the Last Supper, was overweight, didn't look healthy, or
a
paedophile next to kids with bollock out. Like, what's going on? Like that alone just has nothing to do with the Olympics.
No.
It's completely everything against the Olympics. Like
everything the Olympics stands for.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that someone looked at that and thought, "Yep, we're gonna do this. This looks great. We're gonna put it out there. Everyone's gonna love it." There's no way they put that out there and was like, "Oh yeah, this is amazing." Like,
yeah.
Clearly they did. They whatever reason, I don't honestly. It's all fucked, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all fucked.
So, what is their plan? What are they trying to tell us? Because I'm not just taking this as like, oh, they were trying to be weird. Or like, no, I'm taking this. They're trying to show us something. They are trying to tell us what is happening next. I seriously think it is. What is their plan? What are these people dropping dead because you think it's got nothing to do with the Olympics. So what is it?
What's it signifying?
I've been to France. I don't see what that's got to do with France. Nothing to do with France. There's a lot of beautiful places in France. It's all about croissants and baguettes and wearing funny hats and cycling around on bikes. Like that's the French, and it's beautiful.
Mimes
beautiful
and
place.
shit. For some reason, I link France with mimes. You know the guy.
Mimes, the little little people, and
that thing there.
Little violins and French music. This was not anything to do with the culture of France. They destroyed the culture of France. It's gone.
Was it even all of them? I want to know how many people in that lineup were actually French. That's what I want to know.
Good point.
Who there was actually French? Did anyone physically speak? You know the guy on
he was singing in French.
Blue geezer. Was he singing in French?
He was singing in French, and the director was French. But
interesting.
I mean, how much of this is coming from? Yeah, how much is this?
I want to know what French people think of it. French people watching it. I want to look at French news articles and see what they say about it. Are they saying, "Oh my god, this is so great, amazing"? You know what I mean? I need to look at some French things with subtitles, try to work that out, because surely they can't agree with it either.
Well, I think the French are quite sort of stubborn, set in their ways kind of people. The proper French. I can't imagine them being like accepting everything. They don't seem like that type.
They don't, do they?
The French people I've met, they're generally quite stoic. They're not the most happy people sometimes. Be a little bit miserable. I don't want to insult all of France. I like France. I like French people.
Yeah.
But they're quite sort of stoic people, quite set in their ways. I can't imagine them being super,
quite passionate about their country, aren't they?
Can't imagine them being super
and their culture.
Progressive.
No. If it was coming from somewhere like Amsterdam, right? Let's change the country. If it's coming from Olympics was set in Amsterdam, and that was the open ceremony, you could kind of be like, okay. Do you know what I mean? The whole, obviously everyone knows Amsterdam, all the stuff that goes on there. You could kind of be like, oh yeah, Amsterdam, very quirky, very this, very that. It kind of makes sense.
You'd be like, I guess you'd be like, okay. Part of their culture, yeah.
But France, no. Very different. Very different.
Yeah.
Or like even Berlin, for example, like if that was Olympics set in Berlin, and that was a ceremony, you could kind of be like, even that, because Berlin can be very, quirky and stuff like that, especially their like clubbing scenes and was it Birkenheim or whatever it's called? Do you know about that?
No.
Oh, it's supposed to be the most exclusive club in the world.
About this. Yeah.
And to get in, it's really hard to get in, but once you get in, it's just fucking like people fucking left, right, and center, apparently. And like just orgies going on and like half naked people and just like a complete and they give you covers for your phones when you go in. They give you stickers to stick over the cameras, and there's not allowed any pictures inside. No one's allowed to record anything. And to get in, the like attire that you have to wear is proper like basically all black, and you have to be proper out there. Like you have to be dressed, interesting. Bit camp, literally bit camp. There's loads of videos on like TikTok, people trying to get into Birkenheim, and they go to the shop and there's like loads of straight guys trying to get into Birkenheim, and they buy the most like fruitiest outfits like possible, all in black, just try to get in, and like half of them get in, half of them don't, stuff like that. So if it came from like somewhere like Berlin, that's quite,
that'd be funny. A bunch of like straight guys try and get in to meet girls.
To meet girls, yeah.
Get in, and it's just like
what
dudes.
The girls would be like in there. I don't know if the girls would be straight guys' cup of teas in there. Surely not. I don't know. You'd probably get. I'm not
Zero
sure.
girls.
Who knows? Let's investigate. If we ever take a trip to Berlin, we'll let you know. Try to get into Birkenheim, and
vlog it.
We'll buy some fruity outfits, and we'll go in there, and we'll probably come out and say, horrific experience, and we got touched by like several guys. Yeah, and we'll never do that again. So
take one for the team.
yeah, take one for the team.
Yeah,
investigate. Anyway, back to the point. We've gone off topic.
Gone massively off topic.
Massively off topic.
But yeah, I don't know what they're.
But France has literally nothing to do with. There's nothing in their culture that. Not their culture. I don't know if culture is the right word to use, but in their what France stands for.
Yeah. Christian country.
Yeah, yeah.
Supposed to respect the Bible, respect
There you go.
Jesus, respect like religious imagery. And they just defaced it in front of the whole world.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
It's a
why?
disgrace.
Why? And I'm not religious. I'm not even Christian. Not currently. I'm reading the Bible. I'm interested in it all, but
Yeah.
I'm not religious. And even I'm like, this is weird and wrong.
Yeah.
And they're clearly trying to insult people.
Yeah,
and
whether you stand with it or not, whether you're religious or not, whether you're Christian or not, you don't have to be Christian to look at that and be like, yeah, that's offensive to Christianity.
Whether you're straight or gay or anything, you must see that and go, this is weird. This is not right.
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. Shouldn't be recreating the Last Supper with everything that Christianity is against.
Yeah. And it's scary because you think of how much they're trying to destroy lives and the amount of people they're just randomly killing and in like all these weird wars. And then you've got the UK government going, let's send more money to blow up people. And then literally yesterday they announced that they're not giving money for old people to heat their homes. They're not giving money for people to heat their homes, but they'll give billions and billions and billions to blow up some random Russians.
Yeah.
Some random Russian people. I don't want to blow up some random Russian people.
No. It's almost like they've lost interest in caring about this country and the people that live in this country.
We need to do another whole episode on the globalist agenda. Because we've now got someone in government who says that Parliament and is not important. Keir Starmer said, in an interview, they said, what would you choose between Davos, which is like the globalist parliament, or UK Parliament, House of Commons? And he said, oh, Davos, definitely Davos. And they're like, why? And he said, well, it's the bigger picture. It's Davos. It's the whole world. So he doesn't care about his country. He cares about the globalist agenda. He's literally stated it, and people just voted him in to thinking that things were going to get better than they were with the Conservatives. I think we're even more fucked. The Conservatives fucked it up, and now Labour's come to finish the job. But the fact that we got someone in charge that isn't letting old people heat their homes and is just bombing random Russians, and young people at our age can't buy a house.
No.
Wages aren't going up. Inflation's going up. They're trying to regulate everything. It's scary.
It is really scary. And I want to know when it's all going to turn around and things are going to get better, I think everyone's asking that, wondering that.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time. Whether it's like, how long do you think it's going to be until, country improves? Do they even want the country to ever improve again?
No.
Is that their point? Is, half of the people behind closed door are profiting with everyone else suffering?
And also, if you're a globalist, you don't care about your country. Because if you think about the bigger picture, you make your own money. You live in the UK, you run in the UK, but everything you do is for a globalist agenda. If the UK goes to pot and becomes unlivable, well, you're a globalist. You can go wherever you want.
True. Very true.
Doesn't matter. You just take your family, take your private jet, using taxpayers' money.
Yeah. Fuck off somewhere else.
Yeah. Wrap it up. That's fucking sick.